Welcome back class 8th students in our chemistry class, and we are dealing with our chapter number 3, and this is our 5th lecture in continuation with the same chapter. Now last term we have studied about the principles of separation of mixtures and the properties which are basically involved, or you can say the properties due to which, on account of which we can or we are able to separate the mixtures, separate the constituents of the mixtures more correctly. So today we will start it. So we will start with first the solid mixture. As I have told you, it depends on the state of the constituents. The separation depends on the, so we will study like that. Solid mixture, then we can go for solid liquid mixture and so on. So today I will like to, and I will try to take these two types of mixtures, the separation of these two types of mixture. The first one is the solid mixture. So the solid mixture, dear students, the solid mixture in your book also it is given. We have so many examples like hand picking, sieving, winnowing, magnetic separation. So what is hand picking? Hand picking means it's a very common one. We all always, and we are used to see in our houses, picking stones from rice is simply hand picking. Then we have sieving. Sieving ko agar, if we talk about sieving in layman's language, we have seen the construction in our houses and in construction places, in building ki, in layman's language we say that balu ka chalna, local balu, morang balu ka chalna. So what is that? It basically picking up the bigger stones or medium sized stones from that sand particles, so that we have a rectangular or we have a that type of, and a net is there, iron net is there, and we pour the mixture and the sand, it is collected on that side, and our side, or where this side the smaller stones are collected. So that is sieving. Then we have winnowing. Winnowing, the students who have visited villages or who have gone there, they must have seen the winnowing process, separating chaff from that wheat. So what we did, nowadays so many machines are there, they are used to do it. But in earlier days, what we used to do, that we stand at a higher place, and by the action of wind we shake it like that and we allow to fall it down. So the lighter particle, that is the chaff, it is collected at some distance, and the main wheat which is collected there. So that is winnowing. So which property is used here? The lighter and the heavier. By the action of gravity, the lighter goes a little bit at a distance. So it's a very simple one. I hope you have understood it. And then we have magnetic separation. Magnetic separation, what property we are using here? Dear students, we are using the property of, that is the magnet, that is magnetic property. Suppose we have some scrap which contains some iron particles. So due with the help of that magnet, either it is a strong magnet or it is a inbuilt magnetic machine, we used to pass the scrap through it, or we allow it to fall on the scrap, and that all the iron, so different type of iron particles, or we can say the different type of iron materials, get stick to that heavy magnet, and this way it is being separated. So these are the very general common methods for solid mixture. Now I am going to for one solid mixture through an experiment, and we will take the property in account, that is the property of sublimation. So first I will just have a recap what is sublimation, and then we will go for that experiment and the explanation part. So now we will discuss a separation of mixture, solid-solid mixture, taking into account the property of sublimation. So first of all, what is sublimation? Sublimation is a process, or I think all of you must be knowing. The sublimation is a process in which, on giving heat energy, on applying heat energy, a substance that directly changes in its gaseous or vapor state without passing to the liquid state. There is a direct interconversion. And in the first chapter also, I hope we have studied interconversion of matter, so same experiment we have seen there. So I think that will not be, it's just a revision. So that is sublimation. So it's obvious here, students, ki which type of mixture can be separated by, means it must at least contain one component or constituent that can sublime, first thing, and the other will be other which cannot sublime. So it's a very simple funda ki the sublime will be on being heated, it will sublime, it will change into vapor state, and therefore there should be some arrangement that on the recooling it can be resolidified and will be collected. And the other constituent which will not sublime, which does not have the property to sublime, it will be collected and the leftover residue. So here we have a diagram also. We have, see, we have a china dish. Why we take a china dish? Because it is a good resistant to heat. It will not easily break down on applying heat. So that is the china dish. Then we have a net type of iron net that is known in chemistry, that is wire gauge. So it has a net structure, and below it that's a burner. So it acts as a stand also. On this wire gauge, china dish is kept, and an inverted funnel is kept there over the china dish, and under the china dish and the inverted funnel we have our mixture. So in this we have taken a mixture of ammonium chloride and sodium chloride. So we have two constituents basically, and both are in solid form. The first constituent is, or the first component is ammonium chloride, and yes students, ammonium chloride has the property to sublime. So we are using this method of sublimation. And the other, that is sodium chloride, that is NaCl, that is common salt, it does not have the property to sublime. So we have two types of solid-solid mixtures, in which one has the property to sublime and the other doesn't. And over the top of the funnel, the opening of the funnel, inverted funnel, it is closed by a cotton wool. It is closed by a cotton wool, so that the vapors which will be formed, it does not escape through it. So what's the very simple one? Heat energy is given, the mixture is there, the sublime property, the sublimation property will come to play its role, and it will sublime and it will go up, and on further recooling after some time it will resolidify, because the temperature will get lower as we go upward. So this is the scrap part, it will be resolidified here, and it is collected at the upper parts like this. Anywhere it can be collected, and then we will have the residue, which will be common salt or sodium chloride, and then this resolidified ammonium chloride can be scratched and taken out. So by this we have the whole separation of solid-solid mixture. One is ammonium chloride and the other is sodium chloride. So these were the examples of solid-solid mixture. Now I will take the method for the separation of solid liquid mixture, and the most common one is the sedimentation. We have to start from that sedimentation process, and we will go to filtration also. So today I am going to take this also, solid liquid mixture. Now in solid liquid mixture, what is the main condition? The main condition is that whatever the solid particle is there, or whatever the solid constituent is there, it should be insoluble in the liquid. The insoluble solid plus liquid can be separated by this process which I am going to explain. That is the most common process, that is the process of sedimentation. So one thing should be kept in mind, that by the process of sedimentation and decantation we can separate insoluble solid particles from the liquid. It should not be soluble. So these are the first condition is that insoluble solid plus liquid. It becomes a solid liquid, and this is going to be separated by sedimentation and decantation. Sedimentation, decantation is a process followed by sedimentation, and the other one is filtration. So we will be taking these two in the heading of solid liquid mixture. So sedimentation, it's a very simple process, I think, and I hope all of you must be knowing filtration is a very simple process. We just are going to have a revision of it. What is the sedimentation? The separation of insoluble solid particles from a liquid by the action of gravity as time passes is sedimentation, or more correctly, the separation of solid particles or the separation of insoluble solid particles by allowing them to settle down from the liquid solution or in the liquid solution as time passes by the action of gravity. It is known as the sedimentation. So I have drawn here, it's a very simple one. Let's see, we have a, suppose for example we have a muddy water. So muddy water contains mud particles plus liquid. Now time is given by the action of gravity, under the influence of gravity, these mud particles will settle down. Slowly they will settle down. So the insoluble solid particles will settle down by the action of gravity or under the influence of gravity. They are known as sediment. And that liquid above this sediment, above the particle which is being separated. So here is the layer. There is a layer, forms a layer, we can see it. So that is known as superlatent liquid. So these definitions in 1 marks question can be asked: what is superlatent liquid, what is sediment, and what is decantation. So this is sedimentation, and now we have to separate this. They are in the same vessel. Now we have to separate this superlatent liquid and this sediment. So what is, without being disturbed through a glass rod, it is very precisely, it is poured down with the help of a glass rod, and this superlatent liquid is allowed to be collected in another vessel without disturbing this sediment. So this process is known as decantation, and this is a very simple one, all of you must be knowing. Now there is one more thing that is being told, and it's a good one, that is loading. In your book it is also given basically. So what is loading? So loading is an addition of any external substance or any external compound, any external chemical to fasten the or speed up the process of sedimentation is loading. Means, see, we have to give it time to allow to settle, so it takes time. So it's a very time taking process. Now what is loading? Loading means if some external substance is allowed to mix in it. Here I have drawn the see, there is a muddy particle, and now there is an external substance alum. Alum is allowed to mix it. Now what will alum do? It will dissolve. It is soluble in water or in the liquid. Now it will dissolve, and it has the property to, it will mix with that particles. So the heavier particles, the heavier muddy particles will be settled by its own, but the finer particles, what they just are in the whole liquid, in the supernatant liquid. So what does this loading does to them? The loading facilitates to mix with them. Mix with whom? Mix with the finer particles of this muddy, which are not being settled by its own. So it will make them a little bit heavier, and they will also settle down under the influence of gravity. So loading is for settling the finer particles. The finer insoluble particles is done by the loading. So there we have external some chemical or substance. This way it consumes less time by this process of sedimentation. So that's why I given loading of finer clay particles in the muddy water using alum. So what is alum? Alum is a compound of aluminium, and you must have heard about it. It is used to purify the water, drinking water also, and it has so many uses. But here I think the concept of loading is clear to you all. Now so that's all for today, dear students, and in the next turn we will take this process of filtration, and the other processes will to go on. So that's all for today. Thank you very much.